Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and hopefully this is going to be the start of something awesome. This is the first in a, hopefully, continuing series of, for lack of a better term, loot crates for modders and HVZers. Now, loot crate is not a new concept, obviously, and it isn't even a new concept within our hobby. They have been done, but these ones are being specifically designed by modders, for modders, and by HVZers for HVZers. So every month we'll have a theme, and it'll generally be either beginning modding or HVZ. Sometimes it might just be random 3D printed stuff, or who knows. It'll kind of, the feedback will determine what ends up happening, but they have ideas for some of the early stuff. This one is HVZ themed and kind of Captain Xavier themed. I'll go into all the contents of it later, but first we'll go with the details of how it's going to work. It will be a monthly thing each month. I will have a video showing off about 90% of what's in it. There will be generally one item that doesn't get shown off, just so there's an air of mystery and, intrigue, because people like surprises. But you'll know more or less what is in that month's kit, so you know whether or not you want to get it. When the video goes live, that will also be when the new crate will be made available on Frantz Foamworks website. So you will know more or less what you're getting. There won't be, won't be any months where you just get a whole bunch of stuff that you never wanted, because you'll know ahead of time. You can also, I think they set it up so you can buy 6 months at a time if you just always, I don't care, I want all of it, give it to me. That will be an option. And there'll be a huge variety of what's in the kits. And that's one of the neat things, one of the cool things about our hobby is how incredibly variable it is. But I said the main themes will be HVZ and beginning modding. So this one is, like I said, HVZ themed. The next one, I believe the plan is for it to be beginning mod tools. So it'll be the very basic tools that you need to be able to start modding. So Phillips 0 and 1 screwdrivers, side cutters, needle nose pliers, things like that. Those initial tools that you really need if you want to start tinkering. And then it'll be followed probably by a series that include kits that require those tools. So if you already have all of the tools, you might not need to get the tool month one, but you might still want to get the kits, because there might be really cool kits like the ones that we're going to see here. So it'll be stuff that's being designed by Frantz Foamworks, but it'll also hopefully feature stuff being designed by other people in the community that just want to get their designs out there, or who are just trying to get more exposure so that they can sell their items, because the loot crates will obviously be limited. And there'll be things like patches and things that may be truly exclusive to these kits. If it's a design that is out there that can be bought or printed, obviously full credit will be given and compensation will be given, and they'll be in the video and links and all of that, and hopefully it'll help the community as well as helping new people get into it. So let's take a look at this particular kit. Most of this kit was designed by James Price, with the exception of the patch, which was designed by me and hand-painted by yours truly, yes, oh yes. And the theme is Last Stand, HVZ Last Stand. So that's why the patch is here and no further. This is for those who are choosing their ground, and this is where they will either hold the zombie horde or they will all die valiantly. The other items that are here are also, some of them are very obviously HVZ themed, and others are a little bit more universal. We have the Frantz Foam's Orange Grenade with their QR code on there. And we also have the 3D printed Molly compatible grenade holder. So it'll also fit on, I imagine, certain belt, but it's specifically designed to go into web gear and give you a convenient place to hold your throwable, because they are squishy and are good throwables for HVZ. So that is a lovely little item. We also have, like I said, the patch, and then we have this, and this is a full kit, and you will in fact get the blaster as well as the parts. Some modification will be required for this, but nothing terribly difficult. You do take the yellow shroud off, which can be done fairly easy with a screwdriver. Push in there and bend it up. Same with the other side, push in, bend out, and then that'll just pop off. You are then going to cut the barrel right at the edge of this tab, cut it right there, and then you're going to cut off and sand smooth this tab. One moment while I go and do all of that. Pencil, yes! Right, so once you have the barrel cut down and that top knob cut off, I recommend cutting it a little further than the very end. Not having it quite flush, give it a 1/4 of an inch or so, a couple of millimeters. Just in case. If you cut it too short, there's not much you can do about that. If it's a little bit long, you can trim it down as necessary. And having it be longer doesn't really affect much other than kind of how it fits. But it does simply at that point slide in. You will want to glue it with super glue or whatever glue you prefer. And you need to make sure that it seals right here at the bottom where that notches. And it should line up, and then you glue it in place, and that is all there is to it. And what it creates is a 2-shot half-dart jolt, which is just a fantastic last holdout blaster for HVZ, whether it be just your last hurrah, all your magazines are spent, you've thrown all your throwables, and this is the last thing that you pull out, either for, to get one last zombie, or to put yourself out of your misery, whichever you prefer for thematic, cinematic reasons. But it's very simple. The black portion on here is removable. It's just clipped on, and it gives you a sight, which on something like this is just ridiculous and hilarious. But it also gives you Picatinny rail on both sides, which in addition to meaning you could mount a proud papa or a mistress key on this if you felt like it. It's how the holster works. So it does come with a MOLLE compatible holster that simply the Picatinny rail slides into, and then it just kind of locks on the shell and holds itself fairly securely. It's not the most secure, but it should stay in unless you're tumbling or something. But yeah, neat. And this would work for really anything that had MOLLE on the side, though obviously it would need to be fairly small or it probably would fall out. But yeah, fabulous. Both of these are definitely getting added to my standard HVZ loadouts because they are fabulous. And this one, I mean, it's got my logos on it. Look at it. It's so pretty. And then the final item is this, which if this was in future months, this would be the one part of the kit that I didn't show off. It would be the mystery part. And what this is a Talon mag coupler. It allows you to attach 2 Talon mags to each other side by side. Or, you could have one of them upside down if you felt like it, depending on your preference for how you do your mag attachments. And that really fits into the HVZ in my opinion, because when you have it in a blaster, it allows you to easily top off the second magazine and know how many rounds are in it. And it's much easier to switch to that than switching, from one from your vest, or could be, depending on, your preference. I really like this. I would definitely, if I was running a half-dart blaster for my primary, I would definitely use something like this to start with, because that's 2 magazines worth of ammunition before I have to start pulling from my vest. Once both of them are out, then I can toss it and start pulling mags from my vest. But it's a simple little 3D printed part that it's really nicely designed. It's got nice lines. It is very solid, and it's useful. So each kit will probably have something along those lines. A simple little 3D printed part, either designed by this team or by somebody else, that will be included, and that will be the one that you won't know what it's going to be. Because it won't be the breaking point or the selling point of the kit. It'll just be a little something else that was added in just for general cool factor. So be aware that there will be some sort of a surprise 3D printed what's-it in each kit. All right, I hope I have covered all of the details. This should be live. If you're watching this video, then it should be live on their page, and there aren't very many. I won't say how many. There may be more if there's just a huge outpouring of interest, or they may end up with, an overstock that nobody wants. We'll find out, and that'll kind of determine where this goes. So I'm hoping this people are interested in this. This is something that the community wants and will enjoy. And gonna go shoot this now. Right, I got it working. I sanded out the barrels a little bit because it's 3D printing, so sanding out the barrels makes it smoother, and that's lovely. There was one minor air leak that I was able to fix with some glue, and then I doubled up the spring with some random spring from the spring bin that fit around the stock spring. I was just able to thread it on. Seems to be catching just beautifully. Can we hit a target at 25 feet? Hit! Yes! I like it! I dig it! Fabulous, this is going on my HVZ gear. Get yourself one. So there it is. The Frantz Foamworks HVZ Last Stand Loot Crate. The first in what will hopefully be a fun series. They're aiming for them to be about $35 a piece, plus shipping. The price may be more for months where there's more expensive stuff, and it may be less for months that have less expensive stuff. It'll vary, but that is more or less the price range that they're aiming for. And I think it is a fairly good price for what you're getting, and so take a look if you're interested. Link will be in the description. Should be live. Thank you for watching.